Welcome, welcome one and all. Winter Wizard here, and in this video I'm going to be responding to Chilling Wargamers challenge of I Am A Wargamer. Thank you very much for joining me today, whoever you are, and welcome to this little video where I'll be responding to Chilling Wargamers challenge of I Am A Wargamer. So it was brought to my attention by friend and fellow YouTuber earhOx Minis that I'd been nominated for the I Am A Wargamer video challenge, and this had been apparently started by Mr. Spud at Chilling Wargamers, and this is a fantastic little thing where YouTubers such as myself, who are maybe not quite as big as we'd like to be just yet, or maybe just getting started in the hobby of making videos, this is where we get to answer 3 questions and tell you a little bit about who we are and what we do. I believe the whole idea is to expand our viewers' hobby viewing horizons, to broaden the community, make some new friends, help each other out, and get to see some more great content. So I really think it's a fantastic idea. Thank you very much for Spud for starting this little chain off, and I'm really pleased to be involved with it. And earhOx Minis, thank you for the nomination. If you haven't, all you guys and girls watching here, if you haven't checked him out, he's a really great YouTuber. He does some fantastic content, really love his style. If you're into orcs, he's an absolute must, so go and check him out. So we're going to get started very shortly. I'm just going to quickly introduce myself. So, I'm Winter Wizard, and we're sitting here in the Frozen Fortress. It's cold and lonely. I've got a nice jug of Fenrisian Mjod over there, the finest that you can buy, and I'm joined as always by my co-host and friend, Norwegian Troll Dimmu. He just keeps an eye on things here for me in the Frozen Fortress, and couldn't do a video without him. So let's get started on to the very first question, and that is, Spud asks, how did you get started in the wargaming hobby? That's a great question. So, a long time ago, when I was just a wee wizard, young lad, and my parents used to give me pocket money, £2 a week, that's what I had, and this is my very earliest memory of anything wargaming related. I used to get my pocket money and we'd go to the local toy shop and be able to buy something, and they had a section of Warhammer, and I was looking at these models, and I thought, oh, those look fantastic, and we asked the guy in the shop about them, and he said you can build armies, you can play on the table and collect all these miniatures and fight battles with them, and my brother and I, we were hooked, and we thought, that sounds fantastic. And the man said, you need one of these books. It's called a codex. One of these. Choose the book for the army that you like, and that's the best place to start. So, and it was Tomb Kings, the old Tomb Kings from Fantasy Warhammer, and I needed this book, and I only got £2 a week, and I can't remember how much it was. Maybe it was 20 quid, maybe it was 15 at the time, but I just remember having my £2 every week and having to hold on to it and not spend it on these tiny little tacky toys, and save up for what was probably about 10 weeks in order to get this book so I could start my Tomb Kings army. And I did. And those were some of the first models that I got, the Tomb Kings. That seems to be the oldest memory I have of wargaming, alongside another memory of mine. I remember sitting in class in year 6 at primary school. That's the final year of primary school, and I remember in my desk drawer I had a little leaflet, 40k leaflet, and they had these starter sets on the leaflet, all these different armies that you could look at, and I remember I was supposed to be paying attention whatever we were studying in class, and I remember having my drawer open, flicking through this leaflet, and I would always linger and look at the Tyranids. It was the Tyranids that were my first big love in the world of 40k. I just loved the idea, this apex predator, this deadly alien species, and there was something about them and the colour scheme. It was cracking at the time. Just loved them, and so those were the first 40k miniatures that I had. It was got myself some Tyranids. So my brother and I, we collected our various different armies, and we would sit in one of our bedrooms, and we would murder these miniatures with paint. You know, half a bottle of paint for one model, something like that anyway. And we did that for some time, and we moved into the world of Lord of the Rings strategy battle game as well, and I got myself a nice army of Isengard Uruk-hai. It was always the evil armies I liked, always the more sinister side of things. My brother, he always seemed to prefer the heroes, and I always liked the villains, which worked quite nicely for us. And we had loads of fun. We had all sorts of games, mostly with the 40k and the Lord of the Rings stuff. God knows if we ever played it properly, but we had a lot of fun. And eventually, as we got older, became a teenager, other things started interesting me, and the Warhammer got sort of put aside, and we brought it out every now and again, had a little game, but that was kind of it. Just ended up in a box in the loft and never touched for some time. Well, all this was about to change, and in the year 2018, and got a phone call from my brother. It was not long before my birthday, and he said to me, I've been getting back into the Warhammer 40k. And I was like, oh, are you really? That's interesting. And he said, would you get back into the hobby at all? And I said, oh, I don't know. It's supposed to be quite expensive, and I spend a lot of money and put a lot of my time into board games. I'm a big board gamer as well. And but we chatted about it for a bit, and I hung up the phone, and got a little inkling, and I thought, well, I'll go and check them out. Went on the Games Workshop website on the old internet, and I was blown away by the beautiful sculpts and how far it had come since the early days of collecting it. And it was mostly the Skitarii. It was those models that really, all the AdMech ones that really hooked me, got me back into the hobby. But I also really loved the Death Guard. I remember the Death Guard and Skitarii. They certainly weren't a thing when I was collecting them. There was some Nurgle stuff floating around, but nothing like these. And that was it. And I made the decision between Skitarii or Death Guard, and ended up going for the Sons of Mortarion. About 10 minutes after getting off the phone, I rang up my brother again and said, well, you know, maybe you could get me some of this Warhammer for my birthday. And that was it. I started my first Death Guard army in 2018, and back into the hobby, and haven't looked back since. So that was the first question for you there. How did you get started in the wargaming hobby? We'll move on to question number 2 now, and that is, what got you started making videos for YouTube? Well, that's another good question. So, well, it all started, I suppose the person to blame would be Mr. Luke Barker of Striking Scorpion 82. See, as I got back into the Warhammer hobby, YouTube, I've always been a big fan of YouTube as a platform, and I ended up finding Striking Scorpion 82, and really loved watching the battle reports and the painting videos, and especially the army development stuff as well. And I just really loved his style and his approach to the hobby. And Luke mentioned in one of his videos that he has an Instagram account where you can keep updated with what he's got going on the painting desk and that sort of stuff. And I created a YouTube account literally just to follow Striking Scorpion 82, and so I had that for that, and it was more of a personal account at first. I started following some bands that I really like as well, and but eventually I got the idea to start maybe taking some photos of my Warhammer and uploaded them onto the Instagram, and did this for a while, and eventually just sort of consciously made the decision to make the account a 40k hobbyist specific account, and I didn't have any of the other, wasn't sharing any other stuff. It was literally just Warhammer stuff, and created an identity and a bit of a brand, and went with it from there. So I'd got my 40k hobbyist official Instagram account, and started getting some followers and getting a lot of interest in what I was doing, and people started asking me, can you show us how you paint your Death Guard? I think the Death Guard is the favourite of the armies that I do. The Drowned Plague, the deep sea nautical colour scheme and play style and overall design that I have for them. And I think a lot of people seem to really like them, which I'm hugely grateful for, very humbled by. And I started getting a lot of people asking me, can you show us how you paint, how you do your colour scheme, how do you do your Drowned Plague colour scheme? And I thought, well, maybe I could make a video. And yeah, so I thought, I decided I'll give that a go. Why not? I'll make a video, upload it to YouTube, and see what happens. So I thought, decided to choose a model. I thought I'd paint one model that would be able to encompass all the different aspects of my colour scheme, where it's armour, it's tentacles, skin, pox, and bone, and all the rusted metallics, and a nice sizable base as well for the rotten tide bases that I do. So I ended up getting a hold of a gut rot spume model, and I thought, well, I'll make a video about painting this guy. And what started off as originally going to be one really long video, painting the whole model, I got about halfway through and decided I wasn't enjoying this approach, and I wasn't liking the way the video was coming out at all. So I ended up stripping all the paint off gut rot and starting again. And what I decided to do was create a series. I thought that would be much nicer, much better. 7 episodes, 7 Nurgle's number, 7-part series of breaking down all the different aspects of painting my colour scheme. And I thought I'd really make a nice project out of it, a nice series, and see where it goes. And it sort of evolved and naturally progressed from there. I've done the series, and I really enjoyed doing it, and just wanted to keep making videos. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to have a channel. I want to have a channel. I want a YouTube channel, and I want to keep making videos. So I've been doing some showcase videos. I've done for the Death Guard, for my AdMech and my Space Wolves as well. I've been doing some little mini conversion tutorial videos, and I've been getting some really good response from these, and building up slowly. It takes a lot of patience, but I'm really enjoying it, and that's how I started making videos for YouTube. And so the final question from Spud is, where do you see your channel in 5 years from now? And well, this is probably it's got to be the toughest question of the bunch. That's a difficult one. 5 years from now, a lot can happen. Absolutely. I certainly intend to keep making videos for as long as I'm enjoying it, and I doubt that's going to stop anytime soon. So in 5 years' time, I certainly see this channel still going, with some more armies. I imagine my hobby code is 1 army a year. So 5 years, 5 more armies. Who knows what we'll see? But yeah, I can't say I intend to make this my primary source of income. So if that happens, then absolutely fantastic. But if I could, I suppose a goal, if I had to set one, 1,000 subscribers, that'd be amazing. I'd be over the moon with that. That'd be unbelievable. But to be honest, that's not what it's about. I enjoy making the videos. I enjoy sharing with people what I do, and if people enjoy watching it and enjoy getting involved with that, then that's fantastic. That's the real buzz right there. So in 5 years' time, I certainly hope to still be doing what I'm doing right now, and with loads more content, lots of content variety, lots of armies, and well, we'll just see which way the storm blows us. And maybe you'll be, whoever you are watching, maybe you'll be there too, and I certainly hope you will be. So there we have it then. That was the 3 questions from I Am A Wargamer, the challenge set up by Chilling Wargamers. Mr. Spud, thank you ever so much for starting this little chain reaction off, and earhOx Minis, thank you for the nominations. So, my nominations, well, so Dimmu and I have been discussing this, and we think we're pretty happy with our decisions for nominations, and if they decide that they want to make one of these videos, then that's fantastic. If not, no worries, never mind. And whoever you are watching this, if you have a YouTube channel, don't feel like you need a nomination to join in, have a go, you'll see the tags in the description below. Put those tags in there and I'm sure Spud will get a hold of it and add it to his playlist as well. So, now, our nominations. Number 1, we're going to nominate Forgeplay. So, Forgeplay, Mr. Alex Cottis. He is very, very new to the YouTube game. He's only got 1 video at the moment, but I absolutely love his style. It's pretty funny as well. Once you realise what the style is, you'll see what I mean if you watch it. He's a super lovely guy. Like I said, only 1 video so far. I believe he's planning on making more. His biggest presence is on Instagram. He's got over 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 followers on Instagram. His painting, his ideas, his conversion work, it's all absolutely fantastic. He's and as I said, super awesome guy. Really knows how to put an army together. Check him out. My next nomination, and a bit of a caveat with this one, it's going to be JB Wargamer 87. Now, many of you probably already know James Barker, brother of Luke Barker, Striking Scorpion 82. However, I think James should do one of these because James has his own channel as well, and he does a very specific thing which he does extremely well. So if you're into the Astra Militarum, if you're into the Imperial Guard, James does some amazing videos where he breaks down all the different regiments, all the rankings, and he really goes into the narrative side of the Guard. And I think there's very few other people on YouTube that do what he does, and he does it so well. So I'd like to give a nomination to James. I'd very much like you all to go and check him out as well. And the final nomination is to a channel that I've just discovered. I'm really enjoying checking out what these guys are up to. It's Bigmeks Workshop Paint Studio. So a couple of guys that run it. I'd really love to know more about them, how they got into this. So I'd love to see them answer the questions. And they got some really great content on there. Some awesome conversion work and some great painting tutorials. Really like their style. They just seem really chilled out, really nice guys. So I'd like to give the opportunity to give them a nomination as well. There we have it then. So thank you for watching me ramble on today and seeing my take on the I Am A Wargamer video challenge set up by Spud. Big thanks to him again for starting the chain reaction, and thank you to earhOx for the nomination. If you've enjoyed the video today, a like and a comment would be very much appreciated. And if you'd like to see more of what goes on here inside the Frozen Fortress, then perhaps you'll also consider becoming a subscriber. Once again, whoever you are, thank you very much for joining me today. I'm Winter Wizard, that's Dimmu, and for now, keep it frosty.